This is Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Today, it is Friday, May 23rd, and we're going to be talking about the crypto market. Let's go. Remember that none of this is financial advice. Man, red day in the crypto market. Trump announced a potential 50% tariff straight across the board on all European countries. And here we are, market responds. And as you can see by these two posts from Leader Alpha and Zyfe Crypto, people are surprised, to say the least. Everyone thought we were going up, and that's what happens. Who's to say that somebody didn't take out some massive longs, thinking that this was it? This was their moment to shine and get back everything they had lost, only to double down and lose again. Dude, and that's why I'm not out here making these crazy options plays. I'm not out here making trades. I just sit on my fucking hands, man, so I don't do something stupid and like stand up and try to sell. Dude, you know what? Sometimes the best thing you could do for yourself is to break your thumbs. Go ahead, big dog. It's not break a leg in crypto, it's break a thumb. This will stop you from selling. Like, dude, the best thing that ever happened to me was that dude broke my thumb. The moment I was pissed, but, then I couldn't sell my crypto. And it turned out that I made a shit ton of money because of it. So don't be scared, man. You know what? We've been in this range, and I've been saying that. We're ranging, and right now we're going back to test some of the range. And when you're testing ranges, you know that you're getting close to moving on out, man. Keep fighting that range. We're not looking scared like we're going to go down and start testing other ranges. Like I said, for XRP, it was $2. Are we going to break that $2 mark and go beneath? And if so, beautiful buying opportunity. $2.60, resistance mark. Well, Bitcoin went on and touched the all-time high. It was at 111,000 yesterday, right on the cusp of 112,000. And what happened? We had Trump mentioning tariffs. What else happened? We had a Sui hack. So as Gotham put it, a hacker stole 223 million from Sui yesterday. Then something unprecedented happened. Sui validators literally banned him from the network and froze his funds mid-escape. This changes everything we thought we knew about decentralized blockchains. Here's the story. The hack was brutal. The dude drained Cetus liquidity pools like he owned the place. $223 million gone in hours. Sui meme coins nuked to 75%. US dollar coin depegged to zero on chain. Every swap failed. Holders couldn't even cut losses. Absolute carnage. But here's where it gets interesting. The hacker thought he was unstoppable. He bridged funds to Ethereum, started converting to ETH, already had moved 60 million off chain. Classic escape route. Should have been game over, except Sui validators had other plans. They literally banned the hacker's wallet from the network, froze 162 million mid-transaction. The remaining stolen funds locked in digital prison. No consensus needed from the courts. No lengthy legal process. Just validators saying. So the question is, wait, can they actually do that? This is the part that's blowing everyone's mind. Yes, Sui validators can collectively deny transactions from specific wallets during extreme situations. It's not automatic. It requires broad validator consensus, but it happened in real time. The crypto world is split. If they can freeze funds, is it really decentralized? Versus they saved 162 million from being stolen permanently. Both sides have valid points, but here's what matters. This changes everything about L1 security assumptions. Details are still murky with no official incident report yet. Here's what we know. The hacker gained control over Sui-denominated liquidity pools and drained them systematically. Cetus initially called it an Oracle bug, but the full exploit method remains unclear. We see what they put in their Discord here. It's not hacked. We've detected a bug in the Oracle. So they were fucking bullshitting, man. And people are saying that Sui needs to hop on that Flare network, big dog. Gotham says give credit where it's due. Sui's validator coordination was remarkably fast. In traditional finance, freezing stolen funds takes weeks. Here, hours. Whether you see this as a good emergency response or concerning centralization depends on your perspective. What do you think? Is Sui centralized? Was it a bug? Was it a hack? What's going on, man? If this is a data Oracle feed problem, should Sui be switching to the blockchain for data? I think the answer is obvious. This is a use case for Flare right here, because Hugo was just saying this. Data providers in the crypto ecosystem don't have the security provisions that blockchain companies do. So what did Hugo do? He built the blockchain for data. Dude, that's fucking incredible, man. So here's what the Recoup says about it. It is one thing for a single decentralized exchange on a blockchain to have the ability to freeze smart contracts. Another thing for the entire blockchain to show you how easily their validators can collude and censor transactions. And this is what I've been talking about with Bitcoin too, okay? If your transactions take too long, if your transactions take 17 hours, then dude, whoever controls 51% of the miners can effectively ban your address from making that transaction. What if 51% of the miners are in a country like China and they say, you know what, we don't like your trade tariff rules, USA, and the fact that you guys own Bitcoin, we're just going to go ahead and effectively lock your funds. Because we can do that. We have 51% of the miners. We have the consensus here. We control the code. And it brings us back to that famous moment from the Brad Garlinghouse Anthony Pompliano interview.
Hold on a second. So there's a difference, though, between could they exert influence over miners that are a minority part of the network, right? Versus...
Oh, they're not a minority.
Of course they are. There's nobody who's got 50+% control.
4 miners in China have well over 50% control.
But that's 200%.
No, sorry. The combination of 4 miners have over 50% control.
Yeah, well, no, they've got over 50% of the mining hash power, but they don't have control of Bitcoin, right? It's not like the Chinese Communist Party can change anything or do anything. They are miners, of course.
If you control a majority of the hash power, the miners are the masters. If you control a majority of the hash power, we have seen 51% attacks on other blockchains. If the Chinese Communist Party, if what you're saying is you don't think the Chinese Communist Party could go to those 4 miners and say, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z. I'll ask you, is that the position that you're...
I'm trying to understand what your argument is in terms of you're saying that the Chinese Communist Party has the ability to essentially 51% attack the Bitcoin network.
Well, for sure they do.
Oh, I disagree with that, for sure. All right, hold on. Wait, time out. Put a pin. Hold on, pause. I know you well enough, and I think you know me well enough. We're not going to change each other's mind on this. So just put a pin in that one.
Okay, well, let me ask 2 questions.
Okay.
Do you think the Chinese Communist Party could, if they wanted to, control those 4 miners?
No.
Which is where Brad Garlinghouse saw the strings with his own eyes behind Pomp's back. He watched as the puppet master contorted Pomp's face and forced him to say the words, "No, I don't think that the Chinese government can control the people who run computers in their country." And Brad Garlinghouse's face said it all, because he knew it was an asinine answer. So that's who I'm talking to then. I'm talking to somebody who refuses to accept logical truths. And we know these people in our real life, man. We know people who refuse to accept logical truths. And that's funny. This guy says decentralization is just marketing outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Once again, if you control 51% of any proof of work tokens computers, you have the ability to have those computers accept changes to the code, being that whatever it may be. If I were to go in there and try to create a change on the Bitcoin ledger, I could say, fuck Vitalik and the Badgers, just as a little note, as a little side note, not even changing the code, but just adding it as a blurb in the code. They would have to go in, the miners, and they would have to accept this change. Okay, this isn't like Gala games where the CEO can just say, you know what, no node vote this time, I get to decide. No, you have to have 51% of the miners in concurrence. And the whole idea about a 51% attack is you would need somebody to come along and maliciously take 51% of the control of the computers. But this isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about them just being stored there already. The hash rate is already there in a communist country, and that communist leader gets to control what his people are doing with their machines. That's what I'm saying. And it's a scenario I'm painting for you. It's a picture I'm painting, okay? I'm trying to tell you about a potential scenario that's been discussed across crypto for years. I'm not just somebody making shit up. And what a joke to even talk about it for Ethereum, man. Seriously. Should we look up the famous moment? Here it is from Dave Parker. Remember the time the Ethereum owner, Vitalik, rolled back his chain, rewrote transaction history, and asked the world to stop trading? And here it is. Okay, can you guys stop trading? Please stop trading. Just badger dance. I will break your thumbs so you can no longer trade crypto. Just badger dance. And that's my Vitalik impression, man. To be honest, I've never heard him speak, so it might be hit or miss, dude. It might have been just crazily spot on. I doubt it, Be like drawing a picture with your eyes closed. The point is this, man, is that decentralization in crypto is not a myth. I know people like to say, oh, XRP is centralized because Ripple has 45 billion tokens. Dude, you can't do anything with those 45 billion tokens. It's not like a 51% attack of Bitcoin. It's not like owning 45 billion tokens gives Ripple the ability to control the XRPL. That's not how this fucking works, okay? And the transactions are so fast with XRP, 3 seconds. It doesn't give people time to go in and hack. How are you going to stop a transaction that's already happened? It's a crazy world we're living in, man. And we're learning more and more about crypto every day. I'm going to be honest, I never felt too secure about Sui. Where did these things pop up from, dude? And seriously, I didn't understand what the big draw was. They're just gaining a lot of notoriety because they have all these players who are talking about them. They're new to the show, and they haven't had any adversity. But hey, they're top 10, top 20 tokens just because they got the liquidity and the backing from some big funders. Just right from the jump. I always felt like you should say Sui, like Sui, like Timmy, Kimmer. If you remember South Park, man, I don't think that a centralized chain is going to survive, man. I don't think a fiat chain is going to survive. I don't think a chain with the CEO who's circumventing his nodes is going to be seen as decentralized. Take from that what you will, man. It's Friday, and it looks like we're going to have another weekend of sitting in this range. Classic, right? Classic. When we get here on Monday, almost guarantee we're in the same spot we are right now. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Sit on your hands. break your own thumbs if you have to. Do something fun, man. Do something wacky. Go touch the grass. Just know this, crypto's gonna come roaring back to life. It always does. And when it does, you're gonna be experiencing the same FOMO you had 2 days ago when Bitcoin was ripping towards an all-time high. Dude, it's gonna happen, man. This shit's not over. We're just getting started. But the pause out days, the red days, those are the days you take a break. Those are the days you buy if you got money sidelined. Don't quit, man. Don't quit when we're this close. XRP is going to $10. It's programmed. What's Flare going to hit? 50 cents? $1? Man, we got a good run coming for us. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Until next time.